All right, let's go, because you know what I came in to do.
I don't get paid for overtime. I'm here to fight.
Who would be a good test for Dillian White next, is what the Boxing News asks. Jared Big Baby Anderson, he replies, can y'all feed me this bum? Well, the person he needs to hit up is Bob Arum. Tell Bob Arum to get you a Dillian White. A Dillian White gets you in the game, so to speak. But you got to pay to play. And the bottom line is Anderson's resume is no better than the guy Dillian just beat, Jermaine Franklin. Why don't you fight Jermaine Franklin and see how you do? Jermaine Franklin's with Salita Promotions. They have no alliances, so to speak. They don't have a network deal. Easy fight to make for Bob Arum. Training wheels are off. You know, if you're going to call Dillian a bum, which you're entitled to do, training wheels are off. We need to see you stepping up your level of opposition. I'm not impressed by people calling ranked contenders bums, and you're fighting opponents carefully selected to make you look good. What does that mean? Yeah, you look good on the eye test, but who are you for?
You can't fight him at his range. He'll beat you all day with that jab. His jab, Mark Breland's jab, hurt like most guys' right hands.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in training camp with him.
That's
He whipping that.
Wow.
But,
that wasn't doing nothing, though.
He had no defense, though.
Hold it up.
He grabbed you.
That's all he knew how to do is throw 1-2. That's all he knew how to do was throw 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2.
Well, what about Deontay Wilder? He don't throw hooks or nothing.
Yeah, Deontay, you're right.
Well, see, look.
Jab, right hand.
But see, when you say that about Deontay Wilder, that's all he has is that big right hand. How that right hand be effective is you throw a good jab. You got to put something in his face.
That was taken from a hangout I was listening to recently where two-time welterweight champion Marlon Starling was chopping it up with two-time heavyweight champion Tim Witherspoon. One thing I try not to do is get caught up. It might seem that I'm opposed to a certain boxer or a certain team of a boxer or the fan base. It might seem like that. But I don't agree with everyone who are getting at that boxer or getting at that fan base or getting at that team. I don't support everything they say blindly, because that's where you get caught out and that's where you start becoming inconsistent. And I never ran with everybody who supported Mark Breland when it became Breland versus Wilder. I never just ran with Breland because I knew Breland was a bit of a flake. I've got a video titled Mark Breland, I'm Not Impressed. A lot of people said, oh, that's very objective. I thought you was going to just support Breland blindly. No. He done a lot of fuck shit. Done a lot of disloyal shit. And I pointed it out. I pointed out some of the bullshit Wilder did. And I respect Mark Breland as a boxer, his achievements. But as a man, I think Mark Breland is a bit of a weasel, a rat. And it looks like Deontay Wilder was right. The man who handed Mark Breland his first defeat as a pro, Marlon Starling, is saying all Breland had was a 1-2. It was a 1-2, that's all he had. Well, that's what Wilder told 78 Sports TV a few years back. Wilder detailed what Mark Breland would focus on while training. Before having my other trainer, you know all he worked on was the 1-2. That's all he ever wanted to do was the 1-2, 1-2. And we never did anything to the body or nothing like that. He never emphasized on doing anything else. All you need is the 1-2. And Marlon Starling said that's all Breland did. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. That is true. So basically, he's trying to teach Wilder how to be him. And that's what you don't do as a trainer, is teach the boxer how to be you. You can impart certain elements of what you did if you think it will be a benefit to him. But trying to make another you shows your limitations. And you saw Wilder targeting that jab to the body in the third fight with Fury. He tried to switch it up a little. In fact, the first knockdown was set up with that jab to the body. Shelly Finkel is eager to make the Wilder-Joshua fight, even if it means abandoning the eliminator for the WBC title with Andy Ruiz. Now, a lot of people, including Andy, I believe, are saying that Wilder is trying to swerve the fight. Doesn't want to fight Andy. And if Joshua doesn't take the fight and maybe goes for an easier touch than Deontay, to maybe set up a fight with Deontay, or maybe Tyson Fury later on in the year, there's going to be a lot of Wilder fans who say, it's a duck. He's ducking Deontay Wilder. I don't think Wilder would be ducking Andy Ruiz because he's afraid of him per se. I think we've got to look at the money. Then PBC pay-per-views not really doing it in America. That's why Shelly said he and Wilder are willing to travel across the pond to make it happen. Because they know that fight goes into a stadium. Deontay was there at Wembley, 90,000. He was there, commentating, and did a good job commentating. And enjoyed himself when he was over here. And I don't think Wilder's got that many fights left. And this is one of the big fights that he could have before he retires. I don't think Wilder's going to have that many fights. I don't believe he is. I don't believe he is. The man was crying when he was talking about the head getting hit. Just after he beat Helenius, he didn't even get hit. So he's got a few more fights where he wants to get as much money as he can and possibly expand his resume and have a Joshua on his resume. Going back to the theories of who's ducking who, some people have theorized that Wilder wants to pass up the Ruiz fight because if he wins that, he gets the booby prize of a fight that he's lost 2 out of 3 already against Tyson Fury. Now, the location, Shelley is willing to travel to England. Tells me he's willing to concede promotional and network control to get it done. Because it's no point Showtime putting this on in the UK, paying all the purses, paying up for the event in the UK to broadcast it at 5 or 4 p.m. in America. It's no point. Their primetime slot is like everywhere else. Nighttime, 10 p.m., right? 11 p.m. or wherever, yeah? So they'll be conceding promotional and network options to DAZN, Matchroom. They'll still broadcast it in America, of course they will. And it might still be pay-per-view, if it's that big a fight like everyone is saying. If Shelley is serious, that's a bold step. And it further will add to the rumours of the crumbling PBC empire. Are the promoters or the management attached to the fighters now abandoning the pantomime back end of the horse, fart shit in your face money, and making their own strategic moves now? Remember, before back end money, there's front end money. And the front end money is what you want to be talking about. That's what you want. You want the front end. Recently Tank tweeted, "Do you have my termination papers to ELLERBE and Mayweather?" Then he took the tweet down again, as per usual. Is this shit gonna get like the Free the Locks campaign from Diddy? We're gonna have to hold rallies and hold picket signs for them guys to free Tank. That led to a response on social media. Some in support of Tank saying they need to free this guy. Some people saying, well, they've made him a lot of money fighting bums. They did a good job. Ultimately, is Tank asking the right person for the termination papers? That's if he's serious about leaving TNT, because he deleted the tweet. Barbershop Conversation said he should be asking Al Heyman for the termination papers. Without Al Heyman, there wouldn't be no TMT. Al Heyman, I'm not going to say he is TMT, but Floyd didn't know how to draft up no promotional company or anything like that. He wasn't going to do that until 50 Cent approached him about going into business together. Now, 50 was going to do it because 50 is all about business. Floyd talks about being about business, and he is, but he's not on a 50 Cent level. Even though he's probably got more money, that's for him going through the ropes and making big purses. That's good business, yeah, but when we're talking about businessmen traditionally, they're not using their physicality to get the money. You know, they're sitting down and doing deals. Because surely there must be a shelf life for Mayweather doing these exhibitions. I don't know when that is, but there must be. 50 Cent, he approached Floyd about joining forces and making a promotional company. Now, Floyd was entertaining it. He went to Al Heyman. Al Heyman panicked a little. That's what I believe. When I say panicked, he was, 50's trying to muscle in. And he knows 50 is not a joke. 50 is coming there to be a mogul. Boxers go to Al Heyman to try and get a nice car and a nice house. 50, no, I don't need that, Al. I'm coming here to be a mogul. Heyman sensed that. And if it wasn't for 50, I don't think Heyman would have encouraged Floyd to get a promotional company, right? These advisors, if that's what you want to call him, or promoters or management, they don't want boxers to step out of their lane. They don't want that. But Al said, you know something? Let me draft up Floyd his own imprint. I'll draft it up for him. TMT Promotions, make it all official and everything. I'll even show him how to put on his cards and this, that, get him the network deal, get him some back-end money or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He did that, and that impressed Floyd so much, he said to 50, nah, I'm not doing that. Al kept Floyd happy, and they pushed 50 out. The transition was around 2012 when he fought Miguel Cotto. That was the last fight he had with any representation from Golden Boy. And 50 was telling Oscar, you ain't going to be promoting Floyd no more. And he was talking big. Like, him and Floyd's going to take over. But Floyd came out of jail, fought Cotto. 50 thought he was in there. TMT logo and all. But he got pushed out. Billy Dibb's contract got transferred over to Mayweather Promotions. 50 was going to start a promotional company with Michael Kontz and Manny. The TMT website was taken down and they were trading under Mayweather Promotions, although they were still selling the merchandise. Up till recently, 50 said he can stop Floyd from using TMT as their logo right now.
My heart goes out to him, and I hope he's doing okay. He can be able to go back to his family. You know, people always go about worrying about records and all this, he lost, or he's a bum and all that. Well, you get your bum ass in there then. Yeah, it's a great knockout. It's devastating, making history and stuff like that, but how much that man gonna suffer? And we seeing what happened. Look at Cologne. Pritchard Cologne. Yep. Correct. This man ain't have no kids. Man, they don't understand, man. Y'all don't fucking understand what we go through, man. And I don't even know him like that. But I always be an advocate for us because take your time. This man would never know what it feel like to be somebody's father. And that's some of the precious thing in the world, to be somebody's father. But he'll never be nobody's father, man. This man will never have a natural childhood ability of living again because he got in the ring to support his family. But now, his family got to take care of him for the rest of his life. We don't know, is Robert going to be the same after this?
I was trying to get that fight, but they said, no, I'm not on the radar. And he ended up fighting his sparring partner and then beating him by pushing him. And then come out and say, Deontay Wilder is very emotional. I think Tyson did damage to him. He's so emotional. You say hello to the guy, he starts crying, so.
Whether you're a content creator or a troll, a semi-troll, or a big troll, a small troll, you can't go too far, obviously, and a lot of people do. But people generally talk shit at different levels, including self. That's a given. But if you're not an alpha male, you shouldn't be coming online setting limits on a crazy man like Derek Chisora, saying who he can't fight and you want him to retire. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing... You see, this is what I'm saying. Derek's took more punishment than Wilder through his career. And he was prepared for whatever the consequences were for fighting Deontay Wilder. I mean, we're talking about boxing fans who can't do what Derek does, who don't have the capacity to take the type of punishment that Derek does, setting limits on him. If you're a grown man, like I'm a grown man, and you don't think that's absolutely crazy, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Set the limits on yourself and leave it there. Don't climb out your wheelhouse. Derek ain't a crybaby. He's not a crybaby. I'm not saying Wilder's a crybaby either. But to Derek, it's a fight that he's got to prepare for. Just like if he was preparing for someone who didn't even punch as hard as Wilder, he's got to prepare for war. It's funny how when people talk about Derek versus Fury, all they're complaining about, oh, it's a one-sided fight. No one seems to be really worried about Derek's health like they were worried for Derek's health when he was talking about fighting Wilder. Does Wilder hit harder than Fury? After the 3 fights, looked like Fury was the puncher. Look at the way he chinned Dillian. Wilder's a good fighter, but some of you built him up to be something he isn't. Trust me on that. I grew up watching boxing and, more importantly, reading about boxing. And I would read my magazine from front end right to the back. I want to know what the journeymen who I'm familiar with are doing, how they did in their fights. And I never saw them lesser. The elite fighters, the world champions, the prospects and the highly ranked contenders. When you look at some of their records, and I'm not talking about Derek, I'm talking about journeymen with losing records. Guys like Sanderline Williams and Randy Smith. You go do the research. I ain't going to do it all. If you're really about boxing, you do the research. You'd hear me mention some of the names I often mention, and you'd do the research. These are special athletes and individuals who can either avoid the punishment or take the punishment and keep coming back for it. And it's not only the physical aspect of what they have to go through, it's the mental aspect. You see how Derek responded to Deontay Wilder? He just cries all the time. That's the mentality Derek's taking in the ring. It's just a fight, Deontay. Either you win or I win. No need to cry. And you don't need to cry for Derek. You save your tears. Save your tears. There's other people in society who need your tears. More importantly, need your help. And Derek ain't one of them. Get over it. When Derek can't pass his medicals, or if he can't pass his medicals, or someone qualified in the medical profession or on the board says that we're not going to license Derek no more, I'm okay with that. I won't be there saying you should license him. No, it's time to pack it up. Or, that determined to fight, he can do white collar boxing or get licensed under a different board or commission. Whatever he needs to do, that's up to him. But while he's capable of commanding these big purses and remain an attraction in the game, let Derek do what he does, man. As for the fight on Saturday, I don't have much of a breakdown. I think the most I can say for the fight is Derek Chisora will not freeze. I don't want to disrespect Dillian Whyte, and I wouldn't. He's a tough man. Came up hard. But he froze on the occasion. He did freeze on the occasion. Derek's never froze on the occasion. He's been beaten. He didn't freeze when he fought Tyson Fury. He just couldn't get near to him. That was a different style Tyson Fury was implementing. He had a lot quicker feet and was using range, and Derek couldn't get near him. Dillian didn't have them issues. Tyson was right in front of him. He tied Dillian up when need be, but Dillian just couldn't get untracked. There was a gentleman's agreement made between the two men at the open workout, and they shook hands on it. They vowed to stand in the middle of the ring and trade their biggest shots. Tyson Fury came with the suggestion. Chisora then insisted that Fury stick to his word, adding in the first round, "We let our hands free and we go." And there's the two men shaking on the agreement. So, might not be the fight that everybody wanted, but as long as they're both good to their word, someone's getting knocked out. More than likely Derek. We'll see. There is a better fight, however, this Saturday. One, Francisco Estrada takes on Roman Gonzalez in a rubber match for the vacant WBC flyweight title. Not as popular as Fury and Chisora, which is also a trilogy. 2 trilogies on Saturday. But I hope to be watching it live on DAZN, as long as my old ass can handle the ungodly hour that they'll be putting on.